So really quickly, I think it'd be real well worth your guys' time to create a Farmers.gov account. And if you don't have a login already, you're going to have to create a login.gov, which they'll walk you through on that website, which I'm going to show you on the screen here in just a second. But once you get logged in, there's a lot of cool things you can do, including applying for your bridge applications, finding your base acres, looking at maps, and all those other things. So let's just roll into that here real quick. So the first thing we're going to do is go to Farmers.gov. If we don't have a login in this thing, you're going to sign up for one. If not, let's say you created a login.gov ID already. I'm going to go and log in here. And I'm going to log in with this login.gov. And that actually would be the same login you'd use to get into the IRS site and quite a few other government things. So it's kind of nice to have that created. That allows you access to all those things. So here I'm going to log in. If not, you could have hit create an account there if you don't have one. Obviously, it's going to take us through this two-step verification stuff, just like everything else. So once we get in here, though, I'm going to show you the first thing we're going to do, and that would be apply for a bridge payment. So the bridge program just opened up here on Monday. You can go in here and apply for this. It's a really simple process. On this farmers.gov, once you're logged in, I'm going to hit apply. It's going to make us log in one more time to populate this application with that same login. And it's going to take it a second here. I think there's a lot of people accessing this site at the moment, but once this pops up, it's going to pre-populate my application, and it's a very simple process for this bridge program. So we're going to see here, up comes the Farmer Bridge Payment Assistance page. I'm going to go to my application. We've actually already done ours, so the step at the end where we normally would click to sign it, that's not going to be there, but you're going to see it says I signed it. But it's very simple. So it's loading up our application for KW Ag. That's the only entity that qualifies for something for us. So once that populates, it's going to show our payment amount at the top. So you can see the payment amount up on the top there. Then all the commodities it's going to pay on. One thing we learned in this is if you had winter wheat that failed, that you then reseeded to spring wheat, that qualifies for 2 payments on this, or it was double cropped at the FSA. So if you have a few more wheat acres than what you thought you had, that might be why that was. But the rest of those acres, they should match acre for what you had on your crop insurance. You sign it and submit it, and that gets the ball rolling. So another thing, we're going to go back to the farmers.gov landing page here. If you go to the land overview, so I'm signed in as Corey Falk. I go in there and there's no land for me under Corey Falk. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to view my farm records. I'm not going to see anything there, but I am linked to KW Ag. So if you're personally linked to several entities, you might go in there and you don't see anything. That's most likely because at the top right of the page, you're going to see you're signed in as yourself personally. You're going to see here, I'm going to click the right arrow by my name. I'm going to switch that. So I'm going to switch my profile and I'm going to switch to KW Ag, which is where all of our farm stuff's under. So once I go into that now, when I go to land, and I go to land overview, it's going to show all the farm numbers that pertain to stuff that KW Ag operates. So I'm going to go to view farm records. This is where I'm going to get all my base acre yields, the acres and the yields for each farm number. So we're going to click here at the top on this first farm, and when that happens, it's going to populate on the right all the data pertaining to that farm number. So as I scroll down, you're going to see there's a base acre column in here. So if you guys are looking for base acres by farm, this one has 191 base acres of wheat. My yield's 35 bushels an acre. I have 200 base acres of barley, and my yield's 40 there. And so for figuring out your PLC payments for next fall, that's where you can come to find that information. And like I said, each farm's going to have separate things listed. This one barely has any base acres, and that's because it was stripped off of there while it was in CRP and taken to someone else's farm number. So I'm going to go back out to the home page here. And you're going to see, I can also go to finances. And if I go to my finances overview, this is going to show me what I've received for payments from stuff like the NRCS. If I had some, I think we have farm loan storage payment that would be coming up due here. It's something I could see those sorts of things in here as well, I believe. But once this populates, you can see our total disbursements from the NRCS over who knows how many years that is. You can see all the disbursements, why they were paid out. Some of that's pipeline project stuff, some of it was CSP payments, but it's neat. You can actually match up your direct deposits in here for what those payments were for. And one thing I forgot to show you in the land overview, which is pretty neat too, is we'll go back in there. I'm going to go back into the view the farm records thing. And when I'm in here, if I hit view map on the top right up there, it's going to pop up a map of all the farms that pertain to KW Ag. You can zoom in and out on this map if you want to by using those tools down at the bottom left here. I'm going to grab this box and just zoom in closer. You wouldn't necessarily have to do this. If you just click on one of those farm numbers on the right, it's just going to take you right to that farm number. So I'm going to click there, populates all the fields that pertain to that farm 1696, but then it also shows all my other fields and all the data points for any NRCS stuff that were done in these fields too there. So pretty cool tools. And it'd be well worth your guys' time to get on here and get signed up, because not only can you do your applications for these disaster programs, you can also access all your maps, find all your base acres, and hope that was helpful.